When you put immortal in the title, it better be pretty good. You have Immortal Hulk, which has now become the standard when it comes to putting immortal in front of something. You also have Immortal X-Men, which a lot of people say wasn't as good, but hey, wouldn't have Enigma if we didn't have Immortal X-Men. And now we have Immortal Thor. Will it live up to the 51 issue run of Immortal Hulk? Probably not. But hey, I have been wrong before. My name is Dorian, this is SCM Comics. We are starting our coverage of Immortal Thor with number 1. So our story starts off in a very dark place, and we have some character, and he's talking about the 10 realms. That's incorrect. Everybody and mama knows it's 9 realms. You act like I'm making this up. It says it right there on the page. You got receipts. Well, I got receipts too. MCU receipts.
My father explained it to me like this, that your world is one of the 9 realms of the cosmos.
Case closed. Thank you, Chris Hemsworth, you poor unfortunate soul. I guess I gotta be Ursula and put you up on some game. Now, the reason why there is a 10th realm is because of Angela. For all you Spawn fans out there, yeah, that one. Neil Gaiman and Todd McFarlane created Angela. They went to court because they had an argument, and in the lawsuit, Neil Gaiman got awarded full rights to Angela. He then sold the rights to Marvel Comics. To explain how this angel, who used to be an Image and now she's in Marvel, has all of a sudden showed up, they came up with the story that Odin got to a disagreement with Heaven, and he kicked him out of the 10 realms at the time, but now it's 9 realms. Loki and Thor finds out about it, and they do what they do to bring back Heaven into the fold. Heaven is the 10th realm, and Angela is Thor's sister. Now the case is closed. Well, you know what? 9 sounds better. So like I was saying before I was really interrupted, this thing is talking about the 10 realms, and he just goes, the wheel turns. So now we cut to Jotunheim. Actually, it's Asgard. And it's Asgard in the summertime. They're facing the frost giants, and one of the frost giants, I believe his name is Sklimir, I believe that's the pronunciation of it, don't quote me on it, he's a wizard, and he has brought Jotunheim with him. And the Warriors 4 is having all kinds of issues with this dude. I ain't got time to explain it. It's no longer the Warriors 3, it's the Warriors 4. Everything's looking pretty bad, but then the King of Asgard comes to their side. And the Frost Giants are not impressed, or at least Sklimir. I believe that's his name. He goes, so I unleashed my magic upon the realm, and Asgard responds with one lonely god. So then Thor is like, look, I'm in no mood to argue with anybody, so I'm gonna speak plainly. I am very disappointed in you. So then the Frost Giants start laughing at him. They're like, who are you to be disappointed in us? And it's like, Allfather, what you gonna do next? Send us to bed without supper? So then Thor's like, I'm not talking to you, Sklimir. I'm talking to thee. And he points to the storm. So then he goes, my unfaithful servant. And Sklimir still doesn't understand what the hell's going on. He goes, a sky? So then Thor goes, a storm of snow is still a storm. It's still mine to command. What do you mean coming here at a clumsy wizard's bidding? Why are you spreading icy chaos in your lord's domain? You are but a little blizzard, so this once Thor shall be merciful. Be gone from here, and we will say no more. That storm dipped out like Thor was Debo.
Oh, you want something to do, man? Huh? No. Get off your ass and get in this car, boy.
Like I said before, it's summertime in Asgard, so Frost Giant's like, time to go. Otherwise, we're gonna melt. They're even saying, run, run, or the Skyfather might be disappointed in us. So Sklimir is the only one who's not running, and he goes, hold fast, you cretins. So then Thor is trying to reason with Sklimir. He's like, look, those Frost Giants were youngsters. They probably were all hyped up and excited about tales of old times and so on and so forth. If I really let loose the armies of Asgard, they would have been annihilated. So I did you a favor. I don't want to slaughter anybody, especially on this nice summer day. So why don't you go home? And Sklimir ain't trying to hear none of it. I mean, he just like, nope, that ain't happening. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna conquer this place. He brings up the Utgard Loki. Gesundheit. I wasn't sneezing. That's the name of the thing he was talking about. Utgard. You know what? I'm glad you brought it up. Utgard is going to be very important later on in this book, so remember that name. So then Sklimir starts to try to hit Thor with his magic. Thor starts kind of moving around, and Sklimir is like, it's okay, you can dance around. I only had to hit you once. And then Thor's like, you know what? Mjolnir will probably say the same thing if it could speak. And he just throws Mjolnir at him, and you know what's about to happen next. I mean, don't have to say anything. I mean, there you go. So after that, not much of a battle. Thor's a little bummed out, and they're like, I know you didn't want to have to kill Sklimir, but who knows? He grew his head back once. Maybe he could do it again. Thor's like, yeah, it kind of bothers me, but that's not really what's on my mind. Those were giants of Jotunheim. Jotunheim is the realm that Loki rules. So what the hell is he doing? Did he know about these giants? He sent them to Asgard to try to conquer us? Or does he not know about the giants? And if he doesn't know about them, that concerns me even more. So he's like, I guess I'll have to go have a word with Loki. And all of a sudden, all you hear is somebody in the background goes, you can have the word with me right now. So Loki comes out, and most of the Warriors 4 are happy to see him because, you know, they were friends. But then Thor's like, all right, enough of the pleasantries. Loki, we must speak monarch to monarch. You are the ruler of Jotunheim. And Loki goes, oh, that didn't work out. And Thor's like, what? Loki, it was you who claimed that throne. A throne bears responsibility. You cannot just abandon something you begin. And Loki's like, maybe you can, brother, but don't project your neuroses on me. So then Loki goes, at the end of the day, the Jotuns can rule themselves, as can I. So then Thor goes, buries bones. Me personally, I prefer it when he says Odin's beard. Fine, Loki, I will not force you to rule Jotunheim. But you're here, and any place you go, mischief follows. So why are you here? So Loki goes, what else? You are the god of storms, Thor. I am the god and goddess of stories. Before you guys say, does that mean he's non-binary? Let's not even get into that. It's a comic book. I'm here for the story. So then Thor and Loki start to laugh. Thor's like, I'm glad you're home. Loki's like, me too. Now, let's go about the business of building that rainbow bridge. So if you're wondering what happened to the rainbow bridge, Thor is what happened to the rainbow bridge. When he was fighting the Hulk, he hulked out himself and destroyed it. So that's why you see it floating around in pieces. So then Thor's like, this is my greatest failure since I've been All-Father. But then he's like, I thought you told me that it'll take like 10,000 years for us to reconstruct this bridge. How is it now you could just do it in an instant? So then Loki's like, I got this magic wand from one of the elders in the universe, which is a lie. It's just a piece of driftwood that he found. The magic is within Loki. So he picks it up, he slams it to the ground, and the bridge starts to recreate itself. But right at the end it says, magic is never without its cost. So right at the top of the narration box, it says, I'm sorry, Thor. And that's Loki talking to himself. And obviously Thor and Sif are like happy as hell. Sif is the new hand doll in Marvel Comics. And, you know, he's all singing Loki's praises and everything. And all of a sudden Loki just disappears. And in the bottom narration box, it says, I am so sorry. So whatever the hell is about to come, it was better that the bridge was out versus it being reconstructed. So then Thor goes, gone as suddenly as they appeared. Something troubles me about that. So then Sif's pretty much like, quit worrying, Thor, Odin's son. The bridge is back. And now you can go somewhere you haven't been to in a long time. Thor is like, you have the wisdom of the All-Father, Sif. And that place he hasn't been to in a long time is Midgard. That's right, back to Earth. So he lands in New York and he's doing this Thor thing. He's signing shields for little kids. He's taking pictures with grown-ass men that are dressed like him. You know, the usual. He's playing chess in Central Park. He hears a call for help and he ruins these Orcus agents' day. And this made me so happy. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the comic because he rings holy hell down on Orcus. And I was here for it as this book came out right around the Mutant Massacre time. So after he beats down Orcus, he goes to his favorite spot to think, which is at the Statue of Liberty. He just thinks to himself how when he goes off, he's immortal in a sense. He lives for a very, very, very long time. And every time he leaves Midgard and he spends time in Asgard, only a little bit of time in Asgard passes by. But when he comes back, a whole bunch of time passes by here on Earth. So he even says that sometimes I'll leave and I come back and my mortal friends are warming their graves. So then he's even thinking to himself how he has the power now of the All-Father. So now he has the same magic that enchants the hammer. So now the hammer won't ever disagree with him, which I kind of disagree a little bit just from Avengers 1 million, because Odin had Mjolnir and Mjolnir still wasn't listening to him. He hated that hammer. So then a storm is like raging around her. There's lightning everywhere. And Thor goes, all right, enough, break it up. I want to enjoy this night, so get out of here. And you would think it would listen to him like the last storm did. It did not. It struck all kinds of lightning down on the Statue of Liberty, and the Statue of Liberty is done. So then Thor is trying to collect himself, and he's picking up his hammer, and he looks up, and all of a sudden all you see is this shadow in the background. It's huge. And he says, the wheel. So then we see it's this huge godlike being. And he's like, it's been too long since I've been to this world. Too long since you've chosen illusions over change. I come from Midgard. Told you, there goes that word again. The story land that is of true things. I come to shatter thy false world apart. My name is Tornos, the Midgard Thor. And this dude is wrecking shop. His lightning is so much and so many that it's starting to bring down airplanes. Their winds are starting to uproot trees, and the tunnels are being flooded with water. So then Thor, not to be outdone, gives a little speech of his own. It goes, Tornos, hear me. Hear me, son of Midgard, for you face the Odin son now in his own true element. And I call upon my father's might, the Odin power that now flows through my own veins. For I am Thor, the Gaia son, who defends the Midgard lands. I am Thor the Avenger, who brings justice for innocent blood. But most of all, I am Thor the All-Father, and I summon the all-power against you now. And he hits him with it, and it seems like he got a good shot in there, but he doesn't move and he's not phased. What Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a game plan to get punched in the mouth. You know what's worse than that? When you have a game plan, you punch the person in the mouth and it does nothing. Now what do you do? So speaking of Gaia, we cut to her, and she's talking to Tornos' brother, whoever that is. And he's pretty much like, you sure you want to do this? Because right now the only thing standing in Tornos' way is your son. And she's like, look brother, so I guess they're related. If there was any other way, I would have took it. This is the only way. So then he starts to explain how Thor came to Midgard before and he barely survived when he was a youth. Now that they're a lot more powerful, how's it going to survive this time? And then she just piles on. It's like, yeah, she got to face you guys. He also has to face Loki's test. He just starts laughing when he hears Loki's name. He's like, huh, I remember Loki. And if Thor can be tested by Loki, then the Midgard Loki will destroy him utterly.